My name is Loretta Rice Barnes. I am the Executive Director of Metro East Organizing Coalition. We call it MEOC, located in East St. Louis, Illinois. And I said that because we're right across the bridge from St. Louis, Missouri. Where I'm from, there was an article that was released that says, you're 27 more times likely to be killed in the city of East St. Louis than any other US city. Born and raised right in the middle of the hood, victim of gun violence. When I said that, I thought about one incident when I was a teen. Me and my friends, we went out and we were hanging out, and a car pulled up on the side of the road and let up all of the tinted windows. But then they let them down. Then they started shooting. So we were running for our lives, and I fell in the field to play possum, to play dead. Not knowing if the shooter was going to be standing over me when I got up, didn't know when to get up. And all of a sudden, my friends started running, looking for me to rescue me. I didn't get hit, but it was terrifying. I lost a friend when I was in junior high school. Her name was Mimi. She was 12 years old. And I remember going to her funeral as a teenage girl, looking at her laying in the casket, and she looked like a 99-year-old woman. That memory never left me. As a clergy, now, but I grew up right in the middle of gang violence. And one of the things is that I was blessed because I never really had to totally pledge as a GD or a vice lord, but I frequent it with both groups. That was a miracle, because you typically don't make it out that way. But it was by God's grace. As I look to this side of the room, I remember last year we hosted in the city of East St. Louis our first Wear Orange Day. And we gave honor to victims and survivors and their families. And it was weird because I'm like, what do you say? Because I know we create the space to honor, to embrace, but as a victim and a survivor, it's like, do you talk about it? Do you not? What do you do? And you're looking for ways to heal. So you find community. And I just want to say to you all, I commend your strength for being here. Because every gathering, every shooting, every time you hear something on the news is re-traumatizing that experience when you got that call, when you had to stand over that casket. I'm grateful for Pastor Monrose and God Squad and to everybody that's here, every town, for your partnership, because it takes a community. We say take a village, right, to raise a family. It takes a community to stand with one another. Our work consists of targeting hotspots. We go out into the hotspots. We do some connection with police only to determine data about hotspots. When we go out, the police is not invited to go with us because we don't want to alarm the citizens and keep them from engaging with us and opening up. I developed an urban chaplaincy program, and with that program, what it does is provide space for clergy and faith leaders and practitioners and therapists to come together to respond to crisis in our communities, because oftentimes, as you know, we don't want to talk to the police because we don't trust the police, because every time we tell the police stuff, sometimes it just don't work out, right? So we have developed trauma around telling and saying things and all of that. And to the police that's in the room, one of the things that I invite you to is sensitivity. To be sensitive with our families in those moments, and don't let the next case desensitize you that it's just another number or it's just another case, because it's somebody's loved one and their hearts are broken. So with the Urban Chaplaincy Program, what it does is people don't want to talk to Bishop, the apostle, the pastor, the therapist, or the counselor, because the counselor and the therapist is going to go back and tell my business too, right? So I can't trust you. But chaplaincy helps to de-escalate folk to let their guards down to talk. So we create safe spaces with you families and with your friends to be able to be there, helping to plan funerals for those who pass, helping to write obituaries, helping to staff funerals, helping to sit with families after the press and all of the people have left and the cases go unsolved and they just become a folder on someone's desk, doing follow-up, because that's important, to follow up. Working with churches to create social justice ministries, because our churches need to be able to respond and go out, but in a way where we are sensitized as clergy and we are sensitive to the needs of our families, and that we're not looking down on them and we're not causing them to experience what we heard a mother say today. While she's grieving, they're asking her, identify this, do that, do that. It's a time and place for all things. So I invite us to continue to develop great models that's comprehensive, that's holistic in its approach, and that bring everybody to the table, such as what God Squad is doing. You have the police, you have the DA, the Attorney General, you have the therapists, you have the counselors, you have the faith leaders from various backgrounds, because it's needed. My profession is a Christian, but we build out ecumenical work because we realize that people are going to come from different backgrounds, and we create a space where everybody can show up for themselves and as themselves. And that is super important. So I want to again thank God Squad for